Hello, Shmuel7 back again, and I'm trying to finally start turn 1 here. Here is the spiral galaxy that we're in. Humans have this little fjord, if you will, and we're on the outside over here. But as you can see, there's a big chunk in the middle, and these little wings. So all I did was name, these lines are going here, but there's actually nothing moving at the moment. All I did was name Earth, which is our capital. And so briefly I'll just explain. This is the screen that comes up when you start. So Earth is it's a planet in its own system with 2 asteroid belts. That's what these little pebbles going around each ring are. So there's 2 asteroids, and then here's the star in the middle. Now these asteroids could be a problem later if they decide to veer off and hit Earth, but that would be I think Earth could handle it, because a size 10 planet with a lot of population has a bunch of missiles to shoot asteroids. Alright, so size 10 means that we can have 10 for each one we get 100 million people. So 10 means we can have 1 billion people on this planet, which is quite large. The resources of 5,000, that's about average, not terrible. And then we're already at 100 in infrastructure. It's our capital, so that's great. Income is based upon population and the economic rating. So right now we're at 50. Hopefully this will bump up. And right now we have no life support costs because the climate hazard, which is this line and this number, is 0. Right in the middle of this green is 0. As you go one way or the other, the climate hazard goes up or down, and both of which affect the population negatively. Right here, life support costs. So as this goes up or down, life support costs go up. And this is mostly important for a new colony. You want to know how much climate hazard, so how much you're going to have to pay each turn just to, allow the population to survive. Now, down here is the industrial output. This is pretty much how you make a ship. It has to do with resources. So more resources, more ships are built. And then here's some micromanaging you can do. Trade to construction. Right now we want it all the way to construction because we cannot actually trade. We do not have the tech for it. But pretty shortly maybe we can get that, and then we'll start trading. Overharvest, as this slider goes up, you can see the output also goes up. But each turn we'll lose an amount of resources, so which will affect our output, into the future. So it's basically it's whether you want long run output or whether you're willing to sacrifice the long run to output quickly right now. So obviously we have nothing to rush into, so we will not overharvest at all. Down here is the morale. This no events is just when you mouse over the morale, it gives you some detailed, potentially it's overpopulated, some things that would affect this number, morale, which is at 50 right now, and it's from 1 to 100. But hopefully it'll go up next turn because nothing's wrong. And then we have the populations. The civilian population can reach 1 billion. It will start growing as we continue further. And then, but we can also overpopulate if we go above 50%, but we don't want to do that because it will affect morale. And then ship construction is going to be the just inverse of this slider up here, so we're going to keep it at full. Alright, so now that we've seen that, let's go check out our other systems. We have Krista and Shambhala, I guess named after the song. And Shambhala has 3 planets. Well, it has a gas giant here, Shambhala 1, which is inhabitable, but maybe could be used for mining later. Shambhala 1A, which is a moon of Shambhala, but but it's barren, so no chance of colonizing that. And then Shambhala 2, which is where we have people already, and it's size 6, so reasonably big. Not many resources, but all in all, not terrible. No other planets to colonize in the region, though, which is unfortunate. So we'll leave Shambhala and head over to Krista, which is smaller with less resources and basically by itself. So this isn't the greatest start to a game, but what are you gonna do? So now that we've gotten a lay of the land, let's go look up here. We need to pick a research. I'll just go through all these: research, ship design, one to me people, the diplomacy manager, the station manager, all the worlds we've explored but not necessarily colonized, the populations, so all the places we have colonized, or our capital, each of these systems, and then we have our fleets, and then these two up to the side, the encyclopedia, which I very rarely find useful, and the province creation mode, which if we can't use now, but once we get 3 colonies not connected to any of our other provinces, we can form them into their own province, which gives some benefits, but also a few. I mean, you would do it, but there are some negative side effects. Up here we have the other players, not that important, because we're doing AI opponents. This is our tech, which we haven't picked yet. This is our do we spend more on government research slider. Right now we're going to keep it pretty much in the middle. And this is how much we have in the bank, 500,000. I gave the computer players all $1 million, just because they have trouble managing their money, so I figured I might as well help them out with some extra cash. Oh, I also forgot to mention, in my first video I did make I was a different color. I was blue, and I had some kind of ram here. I just thought that I looked up the Soul Force sign, and this is it. So I wanted to go, by the book, Soul Force standard. So now we're red and white with this symbol. What else here? Here's our pie chart. As you see, as we move, you can see the green and purple. That's research. This is, excuse me, this is research. This is government, I think. And I'm not sure what the other colors are, but once I click on this, I'll refresh my memory. And then one last thing before we go any further and start doing moves. Let's look at the different maps. So this is normal view. You can see all the other systems, where we can go, what we have, our capital, etc. Survey just shows what we have, so that you know what you need to go look at, which is helpful if you are trying to colonize new planets and survey new planets. And then we have provinces. So we have one province. It's these 3 bubbles together form a province. And sometimes I like this just because it gives you a nice it gives depth to the whole 3-dimensional universe here. It helps me locate myself. But that's the only reason why I usually use this view. Support. Apparently Soul Force is not very good at supporting, not like the Hivers anyway, so these bubbles would probably be bigger if we were Hiver. But we'll work on that by making awesome support ships. Here's our sensors. This tells us if there's ships near, enemy ships, friendly ships, randoms, anything that might attack us. But right now it can really only, it's really only what is basically near us or on the way to one of our places. So that's because we haven't colonized. So, and then lastly we get the terrain, which is, I guess cool to look at. I know we're in the Treen arm. I guess that's what you call these arms. I prefer Treen fjord, but I guess that's just not the correct way of putting it. Alright, so let's go back to normal for right now. We got some systems in range. Serenity looks promising. We got 5 planets. All planets, no gas giants. And then over here at Array we have 1, but it is a planet. So before we get started, let's jump in here. I'm not going to go over this too much into detail. I'm just going to kind of explain like the gist of what goes on. So we already said that this is government, more money. So the green is government. I misspoke earlier. And then if you want more research, it's the purple. So we want about a 50-50 split here. Even though if this bar is in the middle, you can see that research is still getting more money. That's why these slivers are different. Okay, security, pretty much I keep it right here. You see there's like a little, it snaps to it. And that's just because if you go below that, you get this black, and the black leads to corruption. So you can have corruption, but I generally don't do that because I don't feel like managing it. And if it clicks onto this, it moves itself. Security will move itself, so that's great. Intel, counter intel, half and half. We don't need to stimulus. We don't have any stimulus yet because we're not colonizing, we're not trading, and we're not mining. So no need to talk about it. Savings this turn, we can adjust what we do with savings. There's no need to have a stimulus, so let's put that at 0. And then savings we'll just leave there for now. And then research, our current project, which we haven't started yet. And then here's our planets, here's their income. So Earth is the biggest, making the most money. And then Shambhala, and then Krista. So right now, our government is getting $24,000, we'll say. Or whatever. Space bucks. Research is getting 113, and then expenses, which is here, is for our fleet and our station maintenance. So all of this, you want your income to exceed the expenses so that you can save. And then savings goes towards your invoices. So as you build stuff, it comes out of savings. It doesn't go into your budget, and that's because invoices aren't charged until the ship is completed. So it would come out of savings after the turn has ended, I guess is the way to say it. There also is this government area. It's right in the middle now. It's not worth talking about. Maybe once it moves. All right, so let's just start. First things first, I think we should. This blinking light is making me mad. So we're going to go to energy. Excuse me, to research. The first thing I usually do is terraforming, because environmental tailoring, it allows you to genetically modify the physiology of your colonists to improve population growth and optimize terraforming on alien worlds. This increases population growth and terraforming efficiency. Now, since we are right now trying to terraform and colonize, this is probably the best way to start.
This project could be the big
So
breakthrough you've been looking for.
Now, I typically boost research. If you go to the right, you can see it's getting redder and redder and redder until, yes, hugely red. And granted, it would take 3 turns. It would also take all of my savings. But as it gets more red, there's a chance that there will be a huge mistake, and it will stunt research, and you might not be able to get the tech, or at least not in a timely manner. So what I do is I check to see how efficient the money I'm spending, my boost money is. So if I spend $5,000, I get 1 turn. If I spend 10, I get 2 more turns. And then 1, 1, 1, oh, and then 2. And then 1, and then 1, and then 1, and then 1, and then 1. Okay, so it's probably 1 from here on out, or less than 1. So what I do is I go, so we got 2 there, and then we got 2, wait, did I misread that? 5 gets its 1, 10 gets its 2, 15 gets its 3. Oh, I guess we don't get any jumps this time. So I'm just going to take off a couple turns, not risk anything. Okay, so I think we're good here. I mean, typically next I'll go somewhere here. Materials are always good. Any of the poli-sci for trading and for talking to other factions. And then engineering is always a good one too. Orbital dry docks, because then you can retrofit and it reduces prices. I mean, basically you just want to make more money. So at this moment, making more money means colonizing. So we're going to start at Unicron, and we're going to send, let's check out our ships here. The fleets, here's your planet Earth, and then let's get that out of here. At Shambhala, we have no fleets. Reserves are fleet or ships you just made, or ships that you want to put there. You can't use them even if they get your system gets attacked, so you have to be careful. But they also don't cost as much in upkeep. And then defense is where your police cruisers go, which we can't make yet. So let's start here where our ships actually are on Earth in Unicron. So our first survey fleet, we have Admiral Isamu Musa. He's using up 36 out of 54 command points, so we could actually put a couple more ships in here. Endurance 4 means he can probably go about 8 moves until he has to return back to Unicron to base. And speed 7. Command, you need a command ship with every fleet, and then 2 supply to keep them. That's why the endurance is so high. And then 3 armor is just for protection. It's a pretty typical survey fleet, and the second survey fleet will probably be identical. And then we have a construction fleet, which just has a command, 2 supply, and a constructor to build things. And our first colonization fleet, which we cannot use this turn, unfortunately, because there's nowhere to colonize. So let's go back up here. What happened here? Okay, so first let's go to Serenity and right click, and we get all these options. We don't want to strike because we know no one's there, hopefully. And so we're going to go survey, and we're going to take the first survey fleet. It's going to take 7 turns, 4 to travel there, and 3 to... So 2 to travel each way, and then 3 to actually do the scanning. So we're good. Confirm.
En route to survey, Commander.
Thank you. Now we'll go over to Array, and we will... What am I doing? Survey with our second survey fleet, which will take less time because there's only 1 planet. So 1 turn to survey, 2 turns each way, and we'll confirm.
Yes, Director. We'll return with your survey data.
Perfect. So that was... Okay, so now 5 turns, yeah. So we might have been able to take out... Let's cancel this for a second.
Yes, Director. Mission canceled.
If we take our second survey fleet and we take out a supply and put it in reserve, the endurance is 4, we need 5. Yeah, so we need both. So let's put that back. Oh wait, I only wanted 1. No. Okay. Endurance 3, 6, yeah, so we save 1 there, so that's good. So now, I mean, what I'm doing is, since it takes only 5 turns to do this, it means I only need an endurance of 3. So I took a supply ship here, now my endurance is 3, and I put them in reserve to save a little money, and now we can send the survey fleet anyway. Perfect.
Roger, Director. Survey underway.
I mean, there's only a few systems here, so I can keep track of everything, but hopefully I'll do the best I can to try to remember to do things like that. Now, what else do we have left? We have a first construction and a first colonization. So first colonization we can't use, period. So I'm just going to dissolve the fleet right now. And so now they're all in reserves. And then I'm going to use this construction fleet right here at Unicron to build a science station. And place station lets you physically put the station. It's not usually important unless for protective reasons. I'll just show you how to do it. You just drag it and you can put it in any of these slots. So I'm going to just put it on the inside facing the sun. You can get a nice little look at it there. That's pretty cool looking station. And then over here is the Navy station. So.
Aye, sir. We'll get it built.
So, thank you for building that. And the only thing left to do on this turn would be to start designing our ships, which I will do. Alright, I just made a quick cup of coffee. Alright, so I was going to build a ship. Design ships. So, you want to design ships on the first turn because you don't have to make a prototype. So, prototypes are a lot more expensive just for the first one, just about 4 times more expensive. So, you know, I want to start off with armor. So, not very many options in the beginning. Actually, no, let's start with command. So, this is our command ship. Humans. Excuse me. The humans they kind of can go with any weapons. I know some factions stray more towards, you know, one or the other, ballistics or energy. I'm gonna try to have a kind of a combination on our early ships and then go from there. So, first of all, I do want polysilicate alloy on all of them. It just is a good defensive thing to have. And then for our front, we're definitely going to have the hammerhead because the standard is just not quite as good. So, let's see here. Right now we have the ship would cost 177,000, but the important things are the supply, and right now there's not too much supply for the amount. So I'm gonna have to throw a camel onto here, and we don't need energy. Very much energy, so we can put just 2 camels on here just to kind of get as far as possible in these ships. Alright, so the way the weapons work are, right now we have missiles, and you can see this is the accuracy as far when you get farther away, and you know, as this line goes up, your shots might stray. So if we look at mass driver, as you get farther from the target, the chance of your shot straying increases. But if you look at something like the green beam, it's perfectly accurate. So you want to weigh damage. As you can see, the green beam does 100 population damage. These are the bursts per minute. And then, but when you go to a mass driver, which may be more inaccurate, it has way more population damage, way more planetary damage, infrastructure, and but also more bursts per minute. So it's kind of balancing. For a commander, he's probably going to be in the front of my my fleets, and I know that humans cannot use the grapple hook, which helps with ballistics, because they're so inaccurate that you'd rather have the ship you're fighting unable to move and kind of close to you. So I'm gonna go with so we got rockets here. So we can have rockets in the front and the back. I think that'll be good. And then red and green lasers are not as good as UV. They're just here. The green beam is more accurate, but it doesn't fire as far. So with rockets on this ship, we're probably going to try to stay away from the enemy. So if that's the case, I'm going to want the UVs. So I'm going to leave this ship pretty much the same, except for these camels that we're attaching. Now, you can attach Hannibals, which there's a potential that your admiral will live if the planet or if the ship explodes. We don't need that yet. Our admirals aren't that important. You can have some more troops on board that know how to fight, but there's not going to be any boarding in the beginning, so that's not necessary. And then we can have a caravan of more crew, which you can see here allows us to hold more crew. It only takes 49 to operate the ship, but we would have 81 on board just in case some died. But I don't think that's necessary right now, so I'm going to go with just camel. So let's submit this design, and we're going to call. I'm going to have to put the microphone down when I type, unfortunately.
We'll keep this design on
So
record.
we call the H command for Hammerhead command. Now our old command ship we don't really need anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now we're just going to go through quickly and do the rest of them, starting with the armor, which already has Hammerhead. Now I was going to I'm deciding just whether I should do plasma or missiles. Now when you click on one and then put your mouse on the other, it gives you an overlay, so you can see that the plasma has much shorter range than the missile. So and the missiles does more damage. So I think we're going to go with missiles just about everywhere we can, and then on the sides, we'll go with UV lasers to now. Okay, hold on. If you choose your weapon and you right-click, it'll just put those type of weapons in every slot of the same type. So, you know, if I wanted red, it automatically switches these all to red. But since we want UV, we right click, now they're all UV. Oh, there we go. We'll do the same with these. So now we have rockets everywhere. And then here, I think we're going to go with the particle beam because we don't want to use our heavy slot on a missile. I think the particle beam which has does less damage, but it's also far more accurate. And since we already have all these rockets, yeah, we're gonna go with the particle beam. So this looks like a good design with 2 camels. That means we have enough supply. This costs 120,000. So we'll have rockets be the most important thing. So let's weapons test it. So here's what our ship would look like. These are the different strengths of the hull. This is our shield. We have a 1-layer shield, and each weapon does a certain amount of impact. So you subtract 1 layer, and then whatever it gets inside here would be off the ship. So and then once an entire block is destroyed, that section of the ship becomes destroyed, and once 2 sections of the ship become destroyed, you lose. So now I am inexperienced with the Soul Force, so let's just check out firepower we got here.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
So that looked pretty good, pretty accurate. All of the lasers hit right on target, which is good. But this is frontwards, where we are probably the best at attacking. So if we try the side, our purple laser still works. So does our fusion cannon, which is great. And then we got all those rockets coming off. This looks like a pretty good ship.
Target
Behind
locked.
us is probably the weak spot. I don't know if we can even... The rockets will be able to shoot backwards,
Fire,
but...
fire, fire! Target locked.
Oh, maybe not. We can't
Target
shoot behind
radar
us, I guess.
received.
How about below?
Aye, sir. Bringing guns to bear.
Okay, so... Oh, wait. Yeah, so we can fire a few rockets behind and then more below. And then how about above? What do we do?
Target radar
Upwards.
received.
Okay, the purple laser goes up. Fusion. Alright. I'm liking the way the ship's looking. So let's just see quickly. I'll show you how if we fire 5 missiles at our ship. So you can get an idea about the structural damage part of it. You can see these missiles coming in from all sides.
Taking enemy fire.
So see, each missile that hit does a chunk of damage off of, and that was the only place it got hit, was on this side, here and here. Alright, so I'm happy with this. So let's submit this design, and we will call it the Hammerhead, or the H armor.
Aye, Command.
Okay, so
We'll save this for future reference.
Regular armor. Now the supply ships, pretty bulky. They're pretty much not going to fight, but they do need to have the ability. So it looks like it's already pretty much the way I want it, because we don't have any heavy. We don't want it. We would rather have a camel on the back of this. So now this has already has. The word escapes me, but it can go for 4 turns. Endurance is the word. Its endurance is 4, just because 53 per turn to 220. So I'm liking the way this is looking. So let's just go ahead and let's make the missiles the #1 thing here, and let's submit this design. We can't put. Oh, we can. Let's put a hammerhead on it. So that, yeah. Alright. So we made this. Alright, submit again. And this will be the H supply. Okay.
Design entered into Naval Archives.
Regular supply. Now I want to make sure we have polysilicate on all these. Yes, okay. So constructors, they don't have any guns. Not a lot of choices here, so we'll just skip over them. Our colonizers already are equipped the way I want, unless I can put a hammerhead, which I can. You know what? I'm not going to do a hammerhead on this because I'm not expecting my colonizers to get into a fight. So I'm going to try to make them a lot cheaper. Take some defense off. What is their supply? Do we need this? Yeah, they were only going to have 2 anyway, so let's just leave it like that. So we'll just call this the regular colonizer. And it'll probably say, oh, actually, let's go first. Colonizer. Okay.
We'll keep this design on
Regular
record.
Colonizer, constructor, no choice again, and scout. So scout is going to be highly supplied, which it already is, and it already has the hammerhead. So we're just going to want to change this to rockets. So we have rockets everywhere, and then UV laser with a particle beam. I was calling it fusion particle beam. And we should be good here. 96,000, yeah. Okay, so we'll call this the H Scout. Alright.
Yes, sir. These
Delete the
schematics may come in
regular
handy.
scout. So everything looks good. We don't need an assault shuttle yet. We should probably make a repair which looks good as is. And we'll just call this first repair. And then...
Aye, Command. We'll save this for
most of
future
these I'm not going
reference.
to use, right? Oh, shoot. I need to put... repair ships actually might be in... so I'm going to do that again. It's going to say first repair make 1, which is going to be annoying, but whatever. Okay.
Design entered into Naval
Make 2,
Archives.
so we'll get rid of that one. And then... it's just good to make all the prototypes now so that we don't have to pay for it later. Drone carrier. I'm not sure what we're going to do with drones yet, so I'm going to skip that one. Boarding, we don't need that yet. I assume by then we'll have some kind of newfangled boarding equipment, and same for drones. So, and for our assault shuttle. So we'll just leave all of them, and we're good. So let's just check to make sure weapons are on the missiles. And... yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this looks good. We've built all our ships. Now, let's quickly go here. We have tax rate 5. And make sure that, so next turn we're only, you know, $1,000 is going to be the difference for everything we're doing. So we could start to bust into our savings a little bit and start building another colonization fleet, which I think I'm going to do. So Unicron's the best place. They have the highest industrial output, so we're going to go here and build a nice colonizer fleet. So let's go with a command, and then let's do 4 colonizers. Actually, no, let's do 3 so that we don't go into debt just yet. And, alright, well, I don't want this to be the wall room. We'll call it the SFS. SFS will be a nice name. Grand. Okay, so I'm going to just submit this. I don't need to save this order.
Construction order placed, Commander.
Okay, so those are building, and I think we're ready to end our first turn. We could upgrade these, but it's not important. It's already pretty upgraded. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm going to end this now. That did take a long time for one turn, but I was explaining quite a bit. I know that next couple of turns won't be this long. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments. I'm always looking for some, criticism, suggestions, anything. And I'll see you on the next video.